Hello everyone and welcome to the Green Man channel. Hope you're doing good and well. So it's time for another album review this Sunday. This time I'm reviewing the third studio album from the singer-songwriter Billie Eilish, and this is her release, Hit Me Hard and Soft, which came out on the 17th of May via Darkroom and Interscope Records. And this album is 10 tracks and 43 minutes in length. Finneas produced this album once again, her brother, and I have to say this album has already had a lot of rave reviews. Sometimes that gets people's backs up before they've even heard an album. If they hear an album's getting lots of rave reviews and hype, it can put them off. I actually don't mind that when the album is as good as this. I have no problem with an album with lots of popularity, lots of hype, when it's all completely justified. And I will explain why I think it's justified, obviously, as I go through this review. One of the things I'd say up front is I think this album actually combines a lot of the best aspects of her first record, When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go, with her second record, Happier Than Ever, released in 2021. I feel like it has the sharpness of that first album still there, although it is quite a mellow, melancholic album for a lot of it, and she's got the sort of the maturity of that second album here as well, I think. Combine those things and you have here really quite a masterful record with like really sincere sounding emotion. And for me, she sort of stands apart from a lot of her peers, a lot of, sort of modern pop artists, because she does have this darker element to her music that you don't get so much, I find anyway, or a sincerity there, a modesty almost, and a refrain with the way that she also delivers her performances. And that combined with, some outrageous, I think some great moments on this record as well, where she actually shows that she can hit some money notes with bigger vocal performances as well, and you get an outstanding record with also combined, of course, with some really good music actually here, some different styles explored too, and some I will mention when I talk a bit more about the songs on this record too. But all the way through, this is a really captivating record. I really enjoy a lot of the intricacies that are actually in this album. When you really listen to it, you listen to all the songs, it's very delicately done. I kind of love the style of a bit of use of jazz here and there with her sort of that alternative pop flavour that she has with her music, and as well as sort of introducing some electronic elements that I just wasn't expecting, that sometimes came as a bit of a surprise, with some synthy moments on this album too, or perhaps one part of the record I'm thinking of in particular there. But yeah, as I say, all in all, a pretty incredible record that I feel justifies all those rave reviews it's been getting. So let's go into some of the songs. I mean, actually, interestingly, Lunch, and a song I want to talk about first, was the lead single, but it only came out on the day of the album release, as far as I understand. And that's, interestingly, I didn't even know this album was actually coming out on the 17th of May, just a couple of days ago. I had no awareness of that at all. And it made me wonder, was it because there were no singles? Was this album promoted all that much? And maybe it has been promoted a lot because, it's Billie Eilish. But I hadn't seen an awful lot of promotion myself, which surprises me as someone that did really enjoy, particularly her first album. I was just surprised that I hadn't realised that she was releasing music until really the release day, pretty much, of this album. I also really liked songs on here like Hero, which have that electro pop sensibility to them. I tend to veer slightly more towards a lot of her electro pop style. I just really enjoy that. Birds of a Feather had this vocal phrasing on and this sort of like complementary vocals that reminded me a bit of Mariah Carey, but with Billie Eilish's sort of refrain there a bit more in the way she delivers her vocals. It's just a sense of that 90s pop for me, or that style in that particular song, and a really good song. One of the first I noticed that I really liked on my first listen of this album. The greatest for me, that track, is the one, another highlight on this album that I'm shouting out because I think it just has an absolutely incredible vocal performance. Unexpected for me this wasn't, this track, because I already knew that Billie is a great singer, but I didn't always know how well she can hit these money notes and I found that out for sure on this third album. I mean, just phenomenal stuff. Also I particularly enjoyed L'amour de ma vie, which starts off with Billie's soft, more whispered vocals and with the jazzy style going on, but then towards the end of the track, out of nowhere, you get this sort of synth pop second part to the song, where she also uses the vocal modulation thing, and it kind of sounds a little bit odd, but it, the two parts in the track, maybe you wouldn't think that they would work, that they'd be too disparate, but actually they work really well together for me, and it's one of my favourite songs on this really good album. And then Bittersweet as well is another really great track, which again shows Billie's versatility, I think, and a lot of this album shows her versatility as a vocalist and a performer and a songwriter, all kind of rolled into one with that great production from her brother. This album is really fantastic. I'm having a hard time because I've only just given a 10 on this channel, and I wasn't expecting to give an album maybe like this. I mean, one that isn't really in my usual sphere of taste either, although I do like Billie Eilish. I wouldn't necessarily say I'd expect to be giving a 10 out of 10 for Billie Eilish's third record here. It's worth all those rave reviews to me. I don't think it's overhyped at all. I think this is genuinely a stellar release that I highly recommend you check out. You might be, there are metalheads out there that I know Billie Eilish, but I also know there are metalheads that get very elitist when it comes to this kind of thing. And, you know, I just wanted to review an album that I really thoroughly enjoyed. Thank you very much. As always, don't forget to drop a like and a sub to this channel if you enjoyed this review. This obviously, I usually do rock and metal album reviews, but sometimes veer into the alternative with stuff like shoegaze, indie, and sometimes Billie Eilish as well now. So until next time, everybody, thanks very much for watching this review, and bye for now.